Assalamualaikum guys, so I'm here at the Canadian Blood Services on Ontario Street with Tammy Maroudas, who is the territorial manager of this branch, and she's going to tell us a bit about OneMatch. So Tammy, what is OneMatch?
Absolutely. So OneMatch is part of Canadian Blood Services. It is a program that we have that coordinates the collection of stem cells for donors requiring stem cell transplants. What's also really important to note is Canadian Blood Services, through OneMatch, also recruits and maintains the Canadian database for potential stem cell donors. So one of the main questions that people have is who needs stem cell transplants, and those are individuals with diseases that inhibit the production of red blood cells, platelets, and white blood cells. So some of the diseases that can include would be leukemia, aplastic anemia, inherited immune disorders, and metabolic disorders. So at any given time, there could be 800 Canadians on the registry looking for matches. So that's pretty substantial. And you know what's very important to note is it's only 25% of those patients will be finding matches within their family. So that means 75% of those patients will be finding unrelated stem cell matches. And that's when that registry is utilized. Also very important to note is OneMatch is a member of the international network of registries that can search millions of potential donors. So finding sometimes a match is finding like a needle in a haystack. So it can be extremely challenging to do so. But yeah, I've been on the registry for over 15 years, and I haven't been called. So sometimes people can be on the registry and not be called at all.
Right. Okay, and one thing that I noticed in your advertisements is that you stress the need for people from racial minorities to donate. Now, could you elaborate on why that's the case?
Absolutely. So when you're on the registry, the best chance of finding a match for you is finding a patient, is finding a transplant within your own ethnic group in the database. So currently right now, 78% of our database is Caucasian, and 22% of our database is ethnically diverse.
Wow.
So you can see it's small.
Yeah.
From that, what we've denoted is that the optimal donor, like you mentioned, is somebody between the ages of 17 and 35, who are ideally male, but we obviously are allowing females to do the swabbing as well, are in good health and will donate to any patient. And so what you can see from that is that from our database, from the optimal donor, we only have about 16% currently on the registry that are that optimal donor. 9% are Caucasian and only 7% are ethnically diverse. So that's why we're going out and reaching out. We're trying to diversify our registry. Specifically, why males, right? We always get that question. There's a lot of people that have this question.
I can imagine.
Males have higher cell counts, which can improve their post-transplant engraftment. So that's when your body takes the transplant.
Okay.
All right. So studies are also showing that female donors, with or without the history of pregnancy, can have an increase of chronic kind of disorder, that graft host versus disease, that we don't want to see.
Right.
So as a registry, we're trying to be more ethnically diverse, and we're trying to encourage males to really sign up, for sure.
Okay. My other question was, a lot of people are wondering, once they do register, what happens when you're the match?
Absolutely. So when you register, or the process for registering would be is to read all the information, make sure you understand everything, and that's when, at the event that will be taking place, you'll find out more about what's exactly required. But sometimes you're waiting on the registry for a very long time.
Yeah.
What's key, and at the event, you'll find out that there's two basic ways of extracting stem cells. One is through the circulatory system, okay, and that would involve a needle.
Right.
And the secondary one would be the classic kind of bone marrow extraction from the back of the body.
Right.
But again, everything will be fully explained. So it can be an exciting time when you find out that you are a match. But basically what happens is further blood work gets done to make sure that you are compatible. There'll be a physical examination. We're also making sure that you don't have any transmissible diseases, right? The recipient bears 100% of the burden, so we're making sure we're having our due diligence. What's critical to explain is, although you register tomorrow, it might be years. So it's always that question of, is it going to fit in your life? So you always have a choice if you do want to go forward with it, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this just brings me back to my last question. So, if all the Muslims in St. Catharines were here right now, what would you tell them to encourage them to participate on our event happening on January 9th?
Absolutely. I think it's just an opportunity to give life. So that's our tagline right now, is to give life. And as a community, collectively together, you can focus on the registry, but also we're going to be focusing on some blood donations,
right,
which oftentimes when you are getting a transplant, any type of transplant, any organ transplant, you can be receiving up to hundreds of units of blood. So the need for blood is constant. Come on down to the event, and if you have any questions, if you're on the fence, I would be more than happy to answer any questions, and any opportunity that we can have to get out into the community across the Niagara area to promote blood awareness, blood donation, and stem cell donation. It's critical. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for sharing your information. So that was Tammy Maroudas. If you guys have any questions, please comment on the video below. And if you'd like me to connect you, Tammy, please let me know as well. And Jazakumullah khair, and I hope to see you guys at the event. Assalamu alaikum.